Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I've got for you something a little bit different. And I say different because this is actually the first EV that is featuring on this channel, and is the first EV that I'm actually selling. And it is actually mine. I purchased this car I think a couple of months ago because I've never had an EV, and I wanted to see how the world with EVs is. And although this one is for sale, trust me, I'm only selling it because I want to get one a little bit different. It's still going to be an EV. I'm fully convinced now. I've already installed an EV charger at home. It costs pennies. Well, not pennies, but pounds, like as in like singular pounds to charge it. And it is absolutely fantastic. Well, let me just do a quick walk around just so you can see the condition of the car, and then we're going to jump inside and I'm going to show you all the interior features and gizmos and gadgets and everything. So this particular car comes with the registration number SM63DXR. It is a Nissan Leaf Acenta, and it puts out 100 and well, no, this is the 109 kilowatt. Well, it's the 109 electric 24 kilowatt hour battery. It puts out 84, well, about 80, no, 107 brake horsepower. So yeah, it's got 107 brake horsepower and it's the 24 kilowatt hour. Sorry, usually I'm so used to saying like petrol and diesel engines that it's a bit different for me to present EV. But I guess this is where the world is going. So yeah, it is a hatchback. It was first registered on the 31st of December 2013, and it has a valid MOT until the 25th of November 2024. So plenty of MOT left. Road tax, obviously zero. It doesn't cost anything because it's a zero emission car. Insurance, it's 23E, so it's quite low on the insurance bracket as well. There's no CO2 output because obviously it is a full electric car. It has a full speed, well, it has a top speed of 89 miles per hour, and it has a 0 to 60 time of about 11 seconds. So obviously it's not the quickest thing out there, but trust me, when you put your foot down, it pins you into your seat. Like I would have never expected this from a Nissan Leaf. To put, I knew electric cars are like rapid and they've got instant torque and they accelerate quickly, but I thought that it's just like the high-end ones, and obviously like Teslas and uh, I don't know, like the high-end electric ones that do that. But no, this one, when you're actually, if I'm remembering correctly, I think the Nissan Leaf has a 0 to 30 time quicker than a BMW M4. Please don't kill me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm sure I've read somewhere that that is the official thing. So yeah, it is pretty nippy. Um, and if you're going to look at the MOT, it had a couple of advisories on there. I think it was the track rod end, and they've both been done since then. So yeah, there's literally no issues whatsoever. It is actually keyless entry and keyless start. So you've got this button here, and as long as you've got the key on you, which I do somewhere here, it does come with 2 keys. So as long as you got the key in your pocket, you can press this button here and it locks the car. You can't open it, and then just press the button again and it unlocks it, so you don't need to take the key out of your pocket. Comes with full electric windows, front and rear. This is to lock and unlock the door. And then the seats are in absolutely lovely condition. I mean, you got to bear in mind that I bought this car for myself. I wasn't planning on selling it this quickly because my commute to work is very, well, I only travel like 10 minutes, so it's like a couple of miles to my home from the office. So, yeah, I didn't think I was going to change it, but I'm actually selling this because I want to sell my main car as well, which is a Lexus GS. And I'm going to use the money from this and from the other one to get myself into a EV with a slightly longer range. So I don't have to keep 2 cars anymore. Anyway, that's your owner's manual, and then at the top there you've got your locking wheel nut. And yeah, the car is in absolutely lovely condition. Honestly, there's no issues whatsoever. Um, Moving over to the rear, it's very spacious as well. Again, electric windows, and as you can see, seats are absolutely lovely. You do get a couple of pockets in the front seats, in the back of the front seats there, to put different stuff if you want, like, I don't know, uh, iPad, snacks, stuff like that. So to open the boot, it's got a button right here, and then in the boot, it's just my jacket. I just took it off. So you've got the two charging cables. So the cables that you need, or the cable that you need, is basically, so you get a Type 2 to Type 1. So Type 1 is the one that goes into the car, and then Type 2 plugs into the public chargers. Or you can plug this in a home charger if you have one as well. And then over here, you've got your 3-pin plug. Just going to show you. So you've got your 3-pin plug, obviously the original Nissan one, not a cheap knockoff. That sits there. The seats fold down, and it gives you a lot more room in the boot as well. And the boot is quite spacious as well, especially for the type of car. It's quite big. You do get this parcel shelf as well that will keep all your valuables hidden from prying eyes. Over here, you've got your backup camera as well. So that's pretty neat. It comes with a camera. It makes reversing so much easier. The alloys are in good condition. Tires are in very good condition as well. And again, you lift up from here to push the seat, well, fold the seat rather. So both seats do fold down. And then you've got this little thing here which keeps the seat belt from catching onto the seat when you pull it back. And then moving over to the front. So over here you've got control for all 4 windows. That's to lock and unlock the car. That's to lock the rear windows. That's to fold in the mirrors. And then obviously you've got electrically adjustable mirrors as well. And then over here, so your first button is to release the fuel cap, if I can say that. It's basically where the chargers plug in. This is to lock it. So let's say you go to a public charger, you plug the charger in, and if you don't press that, somebody could come over and just unplug the car from charging. That would be very annoying. But if you press lock, or you can leave it on auto, so as soon as it senses that you've plugged the charger in, it automatically locks it. This is where you can set a timer for when you want the charging to stop. And this little button here is basically when you drive the car with speeds up to 15 miles an hour, it makes like a little UFO-ish sound just to alert people that you're coming. So you can press that to turn it off. I think it's called creep mode. So yeah, you can turn that off if you want. Over here is your traction control. This is where you adjust your headlights. Let's just pop the fuel cap so you can see. It charges from the front. You basically lift up its nose just like that, and it's in there. So it's got 2 charging ports. This is for your Type 1 charger, so you can charge this from home. So this is the charger that goes in with the leads that I've just showed you. So you plug it in there, and you also have a fast charger option in here. And you find this at public petrol stations and stuff, so you can charge it there. Now, one thing I want to mention with this is the pronunciation. So I've heard quite a lot of people calling it Chademo. Honestly, I'm just about to lose it. It's not a Chademo, it's a Chademo. Okay, say it with me, Chademo. That's what that charger is called. Not a Chademo, not a Chidemo, not a Chidemo. It's a Chademo, right? I know it doesn't make much difference, but honestly, it bugs me when people just pronounce it like Chademo with a, I don't know. So it's a Chademo, right? That is a CHAdeMO charger, and you find that at public petrol stations and loads of other like charging stations. That charges your car up. I think I charged it from like 20%, well, not, about 10%, from 10% to about to about 90%. I think I've charged in like 35 minutes or something. You have two lights, one on each side, which is really cool because when you open this at night, it lights up here, so you know exactly what you're doing. So yeah, it uh, takes about 35 minutes, let's say 40 minutes on a fast charge. It takes about 4 hours on a 7 kilowatt charger from home, and I think it takes about 10 hours if you do it on a 3-pin plug to fully charge it. But then think about it, you take it home. Let's say if your commute is, I don't know, 20 miles or even 30 miles, you drive it from home to work, you leave it there overnight. Well, you leave it there during the day, jump back in it, and you drive it back home. You plug it in and you go inside. You don't need to worry about anything else. You don't need to do anything else. You wake up in the morning, you jump in the car, it's fully charged, and away you go. It's honestly, I was so against EVs because, well, I don't know, because everybody seemed to be against them, and I just joined the bandwagon. But my mind has completely changed. It costs me, actually, yeah. So I've got a 7 kilowatt charger at home, and it costs me, I think it was £2.60 to fully charge it from my 7 kilowatt charger, which is absolutely nothing. It's so cheap. Right, let's jump inside. So, jumping inside, you've got. Let's start with the steering wheel over here. So you've got your source. So this is where you select the radio stations. Your phone, volume up and down, your voice command, and your back button. And over here, you've got your cruise control and speed limiter, and this is an eco button. When you press the eco button, the car becomes very slow, if I can say that. It's perfect to drive around town, don't get me wrong. It's not dangerously slow, but it definitely mellows down a bit, and that gives you a little bit more range as well, but you won't have the same acceleration. But anyway, there's plenty I need to tell you about this. So yeah, that's the eco button. To start it up, put your foot on the brake, and then you've got your start button over there. So you press the brake, press the start button, and then you're going to be greeted by that little chime. I'm just going to close the door because I'm going to close the door so I don't have to hear that beeping. So right, starting from the top there, you've got your clock, you've got your temperature, that's your speedometer in the middle, and over there's a gauge that shows you how eco you're driving, and it will show up some it will display like some icons that will form a tree eventually, and the more trees like that you collect, the more economical the car is and the more economical you're driving. Moving down in the center display, so here these are the things that you need to know the most. So over there, that is your battery temperature. Okay, so it normally sits between 4 and 5 lines, and that's how hot the battery gets. Okay, so if you're going to keep fast charging it, let's say you've got a 200-mile trip and you're just going to stop from fast charger to fast charger, the battery is going to get quite hot, and it's probably going to take a while until it's going to cool down. Obviously, this is probably not a car that's designated for 300-400-mile round trips. It's more of a town driving car. So yeah, it's very economical when it comes to that. At the top there, you've got a power gauge. So when you press the accelerator, that white ball is going to start multiplying. So you're going to see another one next to it, and another one, and another one, and it goes like that until it gives you full power. And then if you go to the left, that's your regen. So as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, you're going to see green little dots showing up. And then the more green dots you have, the more you regenerate and the more current you put back into the battery. Now, as you can see at the moment, I get about 3.8 miles per kilowatt, which is absolutely fantastic. Because yeah, if you work that out, actually, let's see if I can work that out. Uh, right, so I've got my calculator. So let's say 3.8 miles times 24 kilowatts. So in theory, I could do 91 miles with steady driving. I mean, you won't get 91 miles, trust me. You're probably going to get more like 65, maybe close to 70. Right now, let's see what I've got there. Excuse me, excuse my math, but so I've got 57 miles of range remaining, plus that's the mileage I've done since I've resetted it. So 16.8 plus 16.8. So I've done, well, it says that I've got a range of 73 miles. So if you add what I've already done with how much it's still showing me I can do, so about 73 miles, right? Now, the more economical you drive, the less you press the accelerator to pin you into your seat, the better it's going to be for your energy economy. But you can definitely get, I said 60 miles because in case you are going to be driving it like you stole it, then you're probably going to get about 60 miles. Don't get me wrong, you're probably going to get less than that. I mean, if you're going to drive on the motorway constantly 70 miles an hour, you're probably going to get about 50 miles out of it. So it's a matter of how and where you're driving it, right? But the way I drive it is, don't get me wrong, I'm not driving it at 5 miles an hour. I'm driving it at speed, like the legal speed, but I'm not pushing it, if I can say that. Okay, you have to take your foot off the accelerator. When you get to a traffic light, you take your foot off the accelerator so the car will slow down by itself, so you don't have to press the brake. That's another good thing. Brakes, you probably never gonna have to change the brake discs on this thing, and rarely, very rarely, the pads, because they never get used. Granted, you will probably have to change them at some point, don't get me wrong, but they very, very rarely get used. Anyway, so yeah, I'm currently getting about 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, moving over to this side, this is the most important thing. So you see where these little lines are, the long one, the blue and white ones, okay? That is your battery um, charge. Right, so that shows you how much battery you've got left. So right now it says I've got 57 miles, and it's missing about 3 bars. Next to it, where it starts from red, so you've got a couple of red ones, and then so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is your battery health. So right now I've got 10 bars of battery health, which is not bad for a 2013 car. It's not bad at all. It's only lost 2 bars since it was new. And now for people that say that, oh, batteries are going to die in like 10 years, it's going to be completely useless. Well, that's your proof. It's 11 years old and it's only lost 2 bars of battery out of, so it's got 10 bars left out of 12. And it's absolutely fantastic. It has never missed a beat. It's great. So yeah, battery, nah. I used to say that. I used to be in that boat. I used to say that, oh, batteries, Jesus, they're going to die. They're useless. They're useless. Don't buy an electric car. I cannot wait to get myself into an electric car. And I'm either thinking of getting the new Nissan Leaf or the Hyundai Ioniq. One or the other. I don't know exactly which one I'm going to get, but I'm definitely going to get one of those two. So, right, moving over. This one has auto lights and auto wipers as well, which is fantastic. Moving over to the center console. So over here you've got AM, FM, which works absolutely fine. Obviously, I'm not going to leave the music on because I don't want YouTube to strike my video. and it's got Bluetooth streaming as well. So Bluetooth for your calls and for streaming, so you can connect your phone to it and you can listen to music directly from the phone's stereo. Um, you've got sat nav as well, and then if you press the zero emission button, it's going to give you like driving range, nearby stations, update stations, energy information, charging timer, climate control timer, car wings, and settings. Right, and these are your settings and everything. So one thing I want to show you is this car wings. Now, car wings, um, when the car was new, was absolutely fantastic. You could download an app and then you can start the heating from the app. You can turn the car on. You can see the charge status and everything. Now, unfortunately, this car, when it was launched on a 2G network, and that's why you could have had that app. Right now, 2G has been completely abolished in the UK, so you can't get 2G anymore. And because of that, they've actually stopped this feature. So you won't be able to get the app to show you all the information on your phone. Now, some people might tell you you can. Trust me, you can't. I thought, well, I was told I can do that same thing when I first bought this one. I didn't know. I just didn't know. I didn't know anything about EVs. Um, and I bought the car. I tried everything to get connected to it. I couldn't because there wasn't a the app wasn't working anymore. So I called Nissan actually, and I asked them if what's happening, and they said pretty much what I just told you. Because they use 2G network, unfortunately, they had to stop it. So it's a shame, but anyway, it's not like people are used to having apps on their phone for their car, unless it's another EV. So yeah, charging timer. So yeah, these are all your information. So you've got energy information here, so it tells you what the motor is using, what your climate control is using, and what other stuff are using, like other electrics like lights and wipers and stuff like that. So it's got a um very detailed screen. Obviously, it's not as good as like the newest ones, which they show you everything. But bear in mind, it's an 11-year-old car. And you can see on here, so if you turn on the climate control, you lose 5 miles of range. So you can turn on like the AC or the heating, and you lose a little bit of range. Oh, and yeah, I just wanted to show you. So see, if I'm going to press the eco button, look at what happens at that 57. So I'm pressing the eco button. Straight away, it goes up to 59. See, the eco came up next to the P for parking, and then it gave me an extra 2 miles of range. So I can press that eco button and it goes back down to 57. So you can get more range out of that. This is your climate control. So you've got your temperature, your heat, your AC mode. You select the mode. You've got auto, turn it off and on, circulate, front window defrost, rear window defrost, and the fan speed. That's pretty much self-explanatory. This is where you it keeps it blinks while it keeps blinking blink. Well, anyway, flashing. That's the word I was looking for. It keeps flashing when the car is red. When the car is red. Okay. No, the car's never going to be red. It's still going to be black. When the car is locked, that's going to keep flashing red. There you go. That was the sentence I wanted to say. And then over here, you've got your your airbags to say that if they turned on or off. Over here, you've got a USB port where you can plug in your phone as well. And then over here, you've got a auxiliary port as well. Don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can probably see it not yet. There you go. You've got an auxiliary port there. These are blank. You've got a little bit of storage here. You've got a couple of cup holders. And then over here, you've got your gear shift. Now, the gear shift looks a little bit weird. That's because it is a little bit weird, but it's very, very easy to maneuver. So all you do, foot on the brake, and then move it towards you and back, and that puts the car in drive. Or you can move it towards you and up, and that will put the car in reverse, and then your camera is going to pop up straight away, and it's very clear as well. For 2013, okay, don't get me wrong. For 2013 is an absolutely fantastic camera. And then to put it in neutral, just keep it there, and it will go into neutral. And then for park, just press the button at the top. Honestly, it's so easy. It's gonna make life so much easier. Now in here you can see you've got park, reverse, neutral, and DB, right? Now what that stands for is drive and braking. So you got drive, normal drive. So that means that if you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will slow itself down a little bit, but not a lot. If you put it in B, and the way to put it in B, foot on the brake. So you go into drive once and you go again. So you see, now it says B on there. If I go again, it says D. If I go again, it says B. So B is for braking. Now what the braking is, it's basically if you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will slow down quicker to give you more regen and to top up the battery more. Now over here you've got another cubby. Now be careful. So this is actually a facelifted model car. So they used to, the original one that they used to do had like a very light interior, and the range on those was absolutely crap. And they had another big issue. Over here, they used to have a electronic handbrake. Now the problem with that, don't get me wrong, electronic handbrakes are okay at best on cars. Okay, as you know, I'm not a big fan of them, but um, the ones here, they were absolutely rubbish. They were really bad. They kept breaking. Now to fix the brakes, the electronic handbrake, you were talking at least a 4-digit figure. Over £1,000, definitely over £1,000 to fix it. So on the facelift model, they've actually made it into a hand foot slash handbrake. So it's over there. So it's right at your next to your left foot. You can see it here. So you can press this. You hear that little crunching sound, and then the handbrake light comes on. And to lift it, just press it, and it release it, and it will be released. That's it. So easy. I actually love the handbrake over there. I don't know why. Some people hate it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, it had the electronic handbrake. This one doesn't, which is fantastic. And then you've got a little bit of cubby in there. Over here, you've got a armrest, and inside of there, nothing to write home about. It's literally just a, well, glove box. Well, like a glove box. It's like a center console. There you go, where you can put some stuff in. Moving over here, so you've got your interior lights, and they work absolutely fine. There's no issues whatsoever. And then over here, thank you, Nissan, you have a sunglass holder. You know how much I love my sunglass holders. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know how much I love these things. So yeah, and over here, we haven't got anything. So see, I'm not complaining. I don't mind not having anything here, as long as I have a sunglass holder there. If I don't have a sunglass holder there, I want it here. I don't want one of those Jesus handles. Or even worse, when you don't even have a Jesus handle, you don't have a sunglass holder, and you don't have one there. Then that's just dead space to me. So, right. I think that's pretty much it. There's not much else I can say. Like I said, this car, I actually bought it for myself. That's why the video is 28 minutes long, because I did want to, because it is my car. I've obviously lived with it for at least the last 2 months, and I'm honestly, I'm over the moon with it. I absolutely love it, but I just need something with a slightly longer range, because I want to get rid of my petrol slash hybrid car, which is the Lexus GS. And it's funny because the Lexus GS was my dream car. I absolutely love that car. I never thought I was going to sell it, but it's not as fuel efficient as this is. And to be honest, although that thing does 0 to 60 in like 5 seconds, and it's got a 3.5-liter V6 engine in it, and it sounds beautiful, I think I'm a bit past that. I just need something economical, something that will get me from home to work and tutoring around town, for basically peanuts. Right, how this thing drives? Easy drive. And then you take your foot, actually let me do this thing right now. Take your foot off, and it just goes. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm just going to turn it off now. Maybe that makes a bit of a difference, I don't know. So yeah, it drives absolutely lovely. I absolutely love this car. And like I said, I would probably go for the newer Nissan, or probably for the Hyundai Ioniq. I don't know yet. Generally don't know. And there we go. I'll probably move it a little bit forward. Yeah, that's it. Park, handbrake, and that's it. Honestly, it's fantastic. It's so quiet. I love peace and quiet. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, guys. Wow, it's been half an hour. I think this is one of my longest videos so far. But at least you've got a little bit of an in-depth review of the original Nissan Leaf. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm never gonna listen to anyone else until I'm gonna experience something for myself, because I was so against EVs because I didn't know them, because I never driven an EV. I was just so against it, and now I'm absolutely in love. Well, I'm not in love. I was already in love with my wife anyway. Maybe she's gonna watch this video, so I don't want her to think I love an object, because I don't love an object. I like my car. I love my wife. And no, she's not next to me with a gun next to my head or something like that. So, yeah, she's not here. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for your time as well, guys. If you do want to come and test drive the car, by all means, you're more than welcome to, because it drives absolutely lovely. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can find me on 01684 355 or vindemautos.co.uk or vindemautos@gmail.com, whichever one you want. Thank you very much for your time, guys. I hope you appreciate this review, and I hope I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.